Hi everyone. Let's talk about the second derivative test, a test that uses the second derivative to determine if a critical number gives you a local max or a local min. In the first exercise, we must find all the critical numbers of the following function and then determine the concavity of the function near those numbers. If you would like to try this exercise on your own, stop the video now. You can also download these notes using the link in the video description. I believe this function has four critical numbers: -4, -1, 2, and 3. -4, -1, and 2 are critical numbers because that is where the function has the derivative equal to 0. 3 is a critical number because that is where the derivative does not exist. The graph of the function has a corner there. Let's determine concavity near those numbers. Near -4, the function is concave down. Near -1, the function is concave up. Near 2, the function is concave down. Near 3, things get more complicated. On the left side of 3, the function appears to be concave down. On the right side of 3, the function is neither concave up nor concave down. It is a straight line. Let's write down these answers below. There is only one critical number where the function is concave up. That is -1. There are two critical numbers where the function is concave down. It is -4 and 2. And there is also a critical number where the function is neither, and it is x equal to 3. On the left side there, the function was concave down, but on the right side, the function was not concave down, and it was not concave up. Note one thing. A critical number where the function is concave up gives us a local min. Critical numbers where the function is concave down give us local maxima. This suggests that you can use concavity to determine if a critical number gives you a local max or a local min. Imagine someone gives you a critical number that you know is a critical number because the derivative there equals 0. Then to check if that critical number gives you a local max or a local min, you can check the value of the second derivative there. If the value of the second derivative there is negative, that means that the function is concave down, suggesting that you have a local max. If you take a critical number, check second derivative there, and you get that the second derivative is positive there, that will suggest that the function is concave up, telling you that that critical number gives you a local min. This is exactly the statement of the second derivative test. If you are given a critical number such that the derivative at that number is 0, that is the reason why c is a critical number, then as long as the second derivative is continuous, you know that second derivative being greater than 0 implies that the function is concave up, telling you that you have a local minimum there. If the second derivative at that point is negative, that implies that the function is concave down near that point, telling you that you get a local maximum. And if the second derivative is 0, then f can have a local maximum, can have a local minimum, or neither. Let's see how we can use the second derivative test first, and then I will show you where the third condition comes from. In this exercise, we must find all the local maxima and minima of the following function, and then we must justify our answer by using the second derivative test. If you would like to try this problem on your own, stop the video now. To find local maxima and minima, first I must find candidates for where the local maxima and minima occur, which means I must find critical numbers. I do it by first finding the derivative of the function, and I get 3x squared minus 6x minus 9. Then I ask myself two questions. Are there any x's here where the derivative doesn't exist? And are there any x's there where the derivative equals 0? This is a polynomial, which means the derivative, this function, exists for all the x's. To determine where the derivative equals to 0, I first set the derivative equal to 0, and I get 3x squared minus 6x minus 9 equals 0. I factor 3 from each term, and I get 3x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. I can factor this even further. This is 3x minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. This tells me that this function has two critical numbers, x equal to 3 and x equal to -1. To keep track of them, let me draw the x-axis. And I know that I will have -1 on my x-axis and 3 on my x-axis. These are candidates for where the function has a local maximum or a local minimum. To determine if you get a local maximum or a local minimum at those numbers, I will use the second derivative test, meaning I will check concavity near those points. According to the second derivative test, I must plug in those numbers into the second derivative. Let me first compute what the second derivative is. If I take the derivative one more time, I will get 6x minus 6. When I plug in 3 to the second derivative, I will get 6 times 3 minus 6. That is 18 minus 6, which is 12. That is a positive number. When I plug in -1 to my second derivative, I will get -6 minus 6, which is -12. That is a negative number. Because the second derivative at 3 is positive, this suggests that the function is concave up. And because the function is concave up near that point, according to the second derivative test, this implies that you get a local min at x equal to 3. Because at -1, the second derivative was negative, this suggests that the function is concave down. The second derivative implies the function is concave down. And because the function is concave down near -1, this means that we get a local max at x equal to -1. We were supposed to find local maxima and minima. So far, we only found where they are. To find what they are, I must plug in those values, 3 and -1, to the original function. I need to determine what is f of 3. I need to determine what is f of -1. Let's see what will happen if I plug in 3 to the original function. If I plug in 3 here, I get 27. Plug in 3 here, I also get 27. So I get 27 minus 27, that's 0. I plug in 3 here, I get -9 times 3, -27. Minus 1 gives me -28. When I plug in 3, I get -28. And I knew that at 3, I am getting a local minimum, which tells me that this is a local minimum. This is my local minimum. When I plug in -1 to my function, I will get -1 minus 3, that gives me -4. Then I will have plus 9, that gives me 5, minus 1, that gives me 4. And I get 4. I knew, thanks to the second derivative test, that I got a local maximum at x equal to -1, which means 4 is my local max. When we introduced the second derivative test, I told you I was going to explain what happens when the second derivative is 0 at a critical number. This problem will help us understand it. We are given 3 functions, and we are supposed to compute their derivatives below. Then we must explain the connection between the computations and the second derivative test. If you would like to try this on your own first, stop the video now. First function is x to the 4th power. the first derivative of that function is 4x to the third. Plugging in 0 gives me 0. The second derivative is 12x squared. Plugging in 0 gives me 0. When I'm given the function negative x to the fourth power, the first derivative is negative 4x to the third. Plugging in 0 gives me 0. The second derivative is negative 12x squared. Plugging in 0 gives me 0. Finally, the first derivative of x to the third power is 3x squared. Plugging in 0 gives me 0. The second derivative is 6x. Plugging in 0 gives me 0. What is the meaning of these computations? The third line suggests that 0 is a critical number of all of these functions, because the derivative at 0 is 0. Note that the second derivative at 0 is also 0, and we said that the second derivative test said that if you have the second derivative equal to 0, then you can have a max, you can have a min, and you can have neither. Note that in the first case, we get a min. In the second case, we get a max. In the third case, we get neither min nor max. Which means that if you ever find a critical number where the second derivative is 0, then you cannot conclude that this function has a max, min, or neither. You must use a different test, for example, the first derivative test, to determine if that critical number gives you a local max, local min, or neither. Because when the second derivative is 0, the second derivative test fails.